Posts like this one break my heart. See, I'm in the business of retirement planning. And while most of our content on this channel is Social Security based, this is an issue that needs light shined on it. So Jelly Beans 1800, this video is for you and anyone else that has this question. The question is, are monthly fees allowed to be taken out of IRA accounts? And on the surface, this just seems like a question that everybody should know to me. But obviously, it is not a question that is understood. 401k plan sponsors, while they're offered by your employee, are not there to be your friend. They are there to make money, and they make a lot of it, generally off of accounts like this. So I thought it would be wise to spend some time showing you how they charge these fees, what fees they're charging, and the impacts that it has to accounts like yours. So you started in 2009 doing the right thing. You were contributing to an IRA account, planning for retirement, trying to sock away some money. But like so many Americans in 2009, things went haywire financially. And if I had to guess, you probably abandoned contributing to this IRA because you had other financial needs that needed the attention more than this. And so you forgot about it. And it sat and it sat and it sat. Well, your $4,000 turned into $2,400. Not a great return. But I went back and I looked. And the market over that time is up 551%. So why did your account see a 50% decline? Well, that's how companies like Interactive Brokers made $4.5 billion of revenue last year. They pulled the money out of accounts just like yours to fund their ongoing business. Good, bad, or indifferent, if people like you don't know that fees are being charged, then they're not doing a very good job of disclosing it. So let's take a look at what those fees are, how they get charged, and what to do about it. On the surface, you would think, well, if they're charging me these fees, they must send me a receipt or they must send me a layout. It must be in my statement. Go back and look at your statements. They probably didn't lay it out for you in the clearest terms. They probably sent you some prospectus books in the beginning, the mutual funds that they invested you in, and the funds that went along with them. Those books are 200 pages thick, and they count on people like you not reading them, so they don't know what is happening inside of their accounts. But here's what's really going on. There's $8.9 trillion currently in 401ks, and there's $15.2 trillion currently in IRAs, held by companies just like Interactive Brokers. And I'm not picking on them. It's the one that Jelly Bean picked in her post. But there's lots of companies just like them. They don't provide you retirement advice after you leave your employer. The employer sets up that plan, you contribute to it, and while you're following their rules, they'll provide you some services. But once you leave, you're out of sight, out of mind, and they're only focused on the workers who are still continuing to contribute. All the while, they are charging you these fees that come out of your account that you largely don't see. If you're like 65% of Americans who have a retirement account, you're invested in mutual funds. 65% of retirement accounts invested in mutual funds. Mutual funds carry some unique fees. You pay your advisor a fee to hold on to your money and tell you where to invest it. But when they invest you in mutual funds, you get to pay an additional fee. It's called a 12B1 fee, and I'm going to throw up a little graphic for you here so you can see it. A 12B1 fee is in addition to what you pay the brokerage or the firm. And so if you think you know, you don't. You pay a 12B1 fee in addition. These things add up. A 1 or 2% fee can cost you your entire account over the course of your retirement. Throw up a graphic here. $100,000 costs you $100,000 if you have a 2% fee. And so very easily you can see your $4,000 turn into $2,400. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to invest in this way. See, when you left Interactive Brokers, you had the ability to roll that into any IRA that you pleased, in any investment that you pleased. But because you didn't understand the fees or you didn't understand what they were doing and you thought they were going to look after you, you left it here. And look what happened. They took at least half of your money, or almost half of your money, and gave you no interest. See, Interactive Brokers has some fine print on their website. I went and looked. If your account is less than $10,000, they don't pay you any interest if it's sitting in cash. It's not enough money for them, so they're not going to pay you any interest. It's going to sit, and you're going to pay their fee, even if you're not invested, if your money just sits in cash. When you Google Interactive Brokers, and again, I'm picking on them because they're the one that Jelly Beans used. This goes for most 401k plan sponsors. But when you Google them, it shows their revenue of $4.34 billion last year. Not bad. That would do for some of us. But they advertise their low costs. Interactive Brokers is often cited for its competitive commission and margin rates, especially for active traders. Well, guess what Jelly Bean wasn't? An active trader. Guess what most people who are working and contributing to their 401ks don't have time to do? They don't have time to be active traders. They don't know the markets inside and out. And unless you have a tremendous amount of money, they're not going to dedicate a single person to help you. You can access maybe their robo-advisor, or they have some interactive tool that you can chat with. But you're largely not going to have a dedicated advisor. You're going to have one person who oversees a bunch of investments. And so you're just a number to them, a number that adds up to $4.34 billion in the year 2023. And I'll show it again here. They don't pay interest on small accounts. $10,000 or under gets no interest paid. And so while the markets were up 551% since 2009 when Jelly Beans opened this account, her account has gone down almost 50%. 50% that didn't just get lost, it got transferred directly to Interactive Brokers' pockets. And Interactive Brokers is just the placeholder for this conversation. All 401k plan sponsors are this way. So what do you do? If all 401k plan sponsors do this, how do you get away from it? Well, like I mentioned earlier, when you terminate service, or if you're over 59 and a half, you can roll these funds out of your existing 401k or IRA into one that you see fit for your needs. Had Jelly Beans 1800 met me in 2009, here's what would have happened. We would have placed her into one of our accounts that pays a fixed amount of interest, that doesn't charge fees, and I tabulated it out. If Jelly Beans had done that today, she'd have $10,161. Not life-changing by any stretch of the imagination. But it's better than the $2,400 that she logged in and found in her account because it had been eroded by fees. See, we just used fixed rates. Right now, guaranteed 6% rate. I don't have to guess what the market does, and there's no fees that come out of that. And so Jelly Beans, and people like Jelly Beans, if you're tired of your money being taken from you and put in somebody else's pocket, DKAC might be the place for you. Reach out and let us help. Don't wake up in a decade and a half and realize that half of your money's missing because you thought someone else was looking out for you. Reach out and see what we can do. Because while $10,161 isn't life-changing, it's a heck of a lot better than $2,400. Hopefully this answers your question, Jelly Bean. Yes, they can and they do charge you fees, and they're extensive. And over the course of time, they add up. I'm sorry that we didn't meet in 2009. But maybe someone like you is reading this or watching this, and we can stop what happened to you before it happens. Thanks.